Seth, hero or villain. The hidden truth about Egypt's most brutal god. We all grew up with one story. Set was the traitor. He was the god of the desert, the one who murdered King Osiris using a golden chest, hacked his brother's body into pieces, and sowed chaos. Set was the eternal enemy of Horus. He was the very embodiment of the devil. But there is a secret the pharaohs didn't want you to know. This truth is written in the hieroglyphs of ancient tombs, hidden deep within the astronomical ceilings, suggesting a complexity that goes far beyond a simple tale of good versus evil. The complete picture shows a necessary darkness. Was Set brutal? Absolutely. He was ruthlessness personified. But at the stroke of midnight, when the sun god Ra sailed his boat through the realm of the dead, facing the monstrous Apophis, the devourer of existence, there was only one deity who dared to stand up and defend the light. That god wasn't Horus. It was Set, the sworn enemy of order. He risked everything, every single night, for the very civilization he tried to destroy. Today, we are stripping away the myths to reveal the truth about Egypt's most complex god and why a murderer became the sun's greatest protector. We are omitted to bringing you the most authentic and profound historical stories. If you want to uncover these hidden secrets, don't hesitate. Subscribe to Ancient Chronicle right now and hit the notification bell to join us in unveiling the truth. Part 1. The Fallen Angel, Necessary Cruelty. To understand why Set had such an astonishing dual role, we must first look at the role history assigned him. In most ancient texts, Set is the embodiment of Isfet, chaos, violence, and everything outside of Ma'at, order. His first and greatest crime was the murder of his brother, Osiris, the golden reign and the seed of envy. Osiris's reign was hailed by the Egyptians as the golden age of order. Osiris ruled alongside his sister wife, Isis. Their reign was the pinnacle of Ma'at, order, justice, and cosmic harmony. Osiris taught humans agriculture, weaving, instituted laws, and brought about unprecedented prosperity. He transformed the Nile Valley into the garden of the world, fostering a sense of peaceful predictability that defined life for millions. In contrast, Set was the god of the Red Desert, barren, tempestuous, and the lawless lands outside the fertile Nile Valley. Set was also a powerful god, revered for his raw, indomitable strength and unpredictable fury. Set's envy was not merely personal jealousy. It was a cosmic conflict between these two forces. Set, the god of untamed power, felt Osiris was too soft, too focused on stability to the point of stagnation, which went against his wild, uncontrollable nature. Set saw the gentle predictability of Osiris as a weakness, a dangerous complacency that would ultimately doom them all. The coffin plot and the 42 bloody fragments. The conspiracy to kill Osiris was an astonishing display of cunning. Set did not kill his brother with brute force. He used deception, exploiting Osiris's greed and vanity. Set hosted a grand banquet and brought forth a magnificent chest, a splendid sarcophagus, declaring he would gift it to any guest who fit inside it perfectly. That chest, carved precisely to Osiris's dimensions, was Set's genius trap, a betrayal orchestrated with cold, calculated precision. After many gods failed, a curious Osiris stepped in. Silence. Set slammed the lid shut, sealed his brother inside the coffin, and poured molten lead over it. Worse still, he threw the chest into the Nile River, drowning the king of order. The most horrifying act followed. Set found the coffin after it washed ashore, and in a fit of rage, he hacked Osiris's body into 42 pieces. This number was not random. It corresponded to the 42 nomes, provinces of Egypt. By scattering each fragment across a different nome, Set was not just destroying Osiris, he was attempting to inject Isfet into every corner of the land, an effort to completely shatter Ma'at from the mortal realm. He wanted to erase both the body and the memory of order from the very soil of Egypt. Isis, the goddess of magic, along with her sister Nephthys and the god Anubis, spent their lives collecting every fragment. Her search was a testament to sorrow and unbreakable resolve, crossing the entire breadth of the desert and valley. Although she succeeded in creating the first mummy, an act of divine resilience, the terrible detail remains that Isis could not find everything. Osiris's phallus had been eaten by a fish, forcing her to use magic to conceive Horus, the Avenger. Osiris then ceased to rule the living, becoming the lord of the underworld, forever associated with the cycles of death and resurrection. The 80-year war and political context after murdering Osiris, Set usurped the throne. But his chaotic reign was quickly challenged by Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis. The 80-year war between Horus, the falcon, and Set, the Set animal, was not just a battle between uncle and nephew, it was a proxy war between order and chaos. It represented the difficult unification of Egypt, where the wild south, Set, clashed with the fertile north, Horus. This protracted conflict shaped early Egyptian identity. Set was an extraordinary, brutal, and immoral warrior. He plucked out Horus's eye. He used every conceivable trick, even the most obscene ones, to humiliate his opponent before the council of the gods. He fought with a tenacity rooted in his belief that he was right to oppose the old order. Although he was eventually judged defeated by the divine council and stripped of the throne, Set's image in the Egyptian mind was cemented. The eternal foe and the symbol of all division, forever feared and mistrusted. Part 2. The necessary god, the forgotten role. But Egyptian mythology is not simply black and white. If Set was merely the devil, why did the god Ra allow him to exist? Why was he one of the first gods born, a part of the Ennead, the council of 9 gods? This is where the story becomes complex. Set was not evil by modern definition. He was the embodiment of Isfet, and Isfet was not meaninglessness, but natural chaos. The nature of natural chaos, Isfet. In the ancient Egyptian worldview, chaos was necessary. If only Ma'at existed, the world would become stagnant, lacking change or development. The tension between Ma'at and Isfet was the engine that drove the cosmos, pushing boundaries and fostering evolution. Set was the god of storms, thunder, and the red desert. These storms, though destructive, brought change and cleansing to the sky and air. The red desert itself, though harsh, was the boundary that protected the Nile Valley from external forces, a desolate buffer zone essential for security. The Egyptians believed that a brutal, unpredictable god was essential to counter equally dangerous forces. Set was the gatekeeper, ensuring that other extreme forces could not penetrate and utterly destroy everything. He was the trial by fire that made Ma'at stronger, proving its resilience daily. Without the Red Desert's unpredictable nature, the Black Land civilization would have dissolved entirely. The Isfet he represented was the force that broke down the old to make way for the new, creating life from the dust. The mystery of the Set animal. Even Set's form reflects this complexity. He wasn't a jackal like Anubis or a falcon like Horus. He bore the form of the Set animal, an unidentified creature with a long snout, square ears, and a forked tail. Egyptologists still debate its true identity, perhaps an aardvark, donkey, or wild hunting dog. But this ambiguity was intentional. The Set animal symbolized difference, foreignness, and the unclassifiable, the very nature of Isfet. He was the god of foreigners, the distant lands with which the Egyptians interacted, standing guard over the unknown. When Egypt was ruled by the Hyksos, a foreign people, during the Second Intermediate Period, Set was worshipped as the supreme deity because he represented raw, untamed power, suitable for those not native to the Nile Valley. He was a symbol of strength that lay outside traditional boundaries. This shows that Set's role changed depending on the political and cultural needs of the era. He could be a traitor, but he could also be a savior when the nation needed the power of chaos to fight. His identity was fluid, dangerous, and utterly vital. The story of Set is about to take a complete turn. Will you still think Set is the devil after hearing this? Please leave a like and comment, "Light now," so we know you're following. Your support is the strength that enables Ancient Chronicle to continue digging into these hidden truths. Part 3. The Protector of Light. The Supreme Battle. After being judged defeated by Horus, Set's fate seemed sealed, but the supreme sun god, Ra, assigned Set the one mission no other god could execute: protecting Ra from Apophis, the journey into the Duat. Every day, the god Ra sailed the solar bark across the sky, bringing light. When the sun set, the boat entered the Duat, the underworld, where Ra had to fight the ultimate chaos, the colossal serpent Apophis. The Duat wasn't just the land of the dead. It was the frontier where Ma'at completely broke down. It was the realm of primordial darkness and terrifying forces, filled with the shrieks of the damned and the cold breath of oblivion. Sailing through the Duat was a perilous 12-hour journey, passing through 12 gates, symbolizing the 12 hours of darkness before the sun was reborn at dawn. Apophis, the true enemy. Apophis is the embodiment of absolute destruction. Unlike Set, controllable chaos, Apophis is endless chaos, the one who seeks to swallow the sun, end existence, and return the universe to primal darkness. This was the enemy that even Ra could not fully defeat alone. Ra provided the light, but the battle required brute force and chaos magic. Every night, Apophis, the immense serpent with no legs, no wings, and no capacity for retreat, would try to drink the rivers of the Duat dry and swallow the solar bark. Its success would mean eternal annihilation. A solar eclipse was the temporary failure, and the collapse of the cycle of rebirth. The fear among the gods traveling with Ra was palpable. Only Set remained fearless. Set's role. The ultimate bodyguard, Set, with his storm power, brutality, and uncompromising combat skills, the very attributes he once used to murder Osiris, was the only weapon capable of confronting Apophis. He was given the most dangerous and honorable position on the boat, standing at the bow, directly facing the forces of nothingness. In the nightly battle in the Duat, Set did not use magic or wisdom. He used pure, raw brutality, the fury of a storm god. He used his iron scepter, a material linked to meteorites and destruction, to pierce Apophis's thick scales with thunderous blows. He used curses and his storm powers to bind the serpent, with some myths describing him using chains of fire to hold Apophis fast, temporarily neutralizing the threat and allowing Ra to continue his journey through the gates of the underworld. The fate of all creation rested on his temper. Set was the only one strong and ferocious enough to face that monster. Ra needed Set not just for his strength, but because Set was a god of Isfet. He understood the nature of chaos and could fight it on its own terms. He used his own brutality and desert temperament to protect order. If Set failed, if Apophis swallowed the solar bark, Ma'at would collapse and the world would end. He was a necessary figure, a cosmic gatekeeper, maintaining existence by fighting death every single night. Part 4. Conclusion. The legacy of the adversary. So, why do we only remember Set as the devil today? Because in the later periods of Egyptian history, especially during the late and Ptolemaic periods, when the country was weakened and invaded by foreign powers, the Egyptians gradually demonized Set. They needed a scapegoat for their national woes, and the foreign, unpredictable god of chaos was the perfect target. As society became more fragile, the need for order, Ma'at, increased, and the tolerance for chaos, Isfet, decreased drastically. Set, the god of foreigners, the desert, and storms, was pushed into the role of a pure villain, becoming the embodiment of evil with no redeeming protective role. His actions against Osiris and Horus were emphasized and exaggerated, while his supreme role on the solar bark faded into obscurity or was rewritten to give credit to other deities. People began to carve images of Set being bound and humiliated rather than fighting. His great sacrifice became a forgotten footnote in a history obsessed with simplicity. Set is a reminder that history and mythology are not simple fairy tales. He was a necessary figure in the Egyptian cosmology, a devil whom the Egyptians worshipped because they understood that there could be no light, Ra, without the power of chaos, Set, to fight against destruction, Apophis. He was the rejected god, but he was the silent protector who sustained the vital cycle of the world. He fought for the existence of the world every night, only to be cursed and maligned every day, a tragic duty for the god of the desert. What are your thoughts on this complex truth? Should we see Set as a misunderstood hero, or was his past treachery too great to ever grant him redemption? Leave your opinion in the comments below. If you love these unique and authentic historical perspectives, show your support by subscribing to Ancient Chronicle and sharing this video with your friends. Your support is the motivation for us to bring you more profound epics like this.